So I was born and brought up in India, raised there, educated there, started my career there. I worked at two different universities, taught at two different universities, and then lived and worked in Scotland for 3 years, England for 16 years, where I ran a consultancy which was helping the big companies to essentially to become more and more international in their thinking. Obviously they were international in terms of their products and services and exports and all that sort of stuff. But the internationalization of the mindset of headquarters was really what I was much more interested in, or the consultancy was much more interested in. And we were helping companies around the world with that. And while doing that, we did 2 assignments for UBS, and they then made me an offer, and I joined them. I worked with them for 15 years, and what I was doing for them was organizing think tanks. And we organized think tanks in 3 different areas. One is global trends, what's happening around the globe. The second is markets, so what's happening in the United States or Russia or India or China, or groups of countries. And the third area is, of course, industries, what was happening in particular industries, whether it's healthcare or whether it's real estate or whatever. So this gave me a very interesting perspective on things around the world, because we had some of the world's top speakers on each of these topics. And I think what I found particularly interesting was the fact that industry expert in sector A was not in touch with industry expert in sector B, because of course they're from different intellectual business worlds. And by the way, we also had senior politicians who came and spoke. So you had different perspectives, and people didn't necessarily know each other, but their perspectives didn't always gel, they didn't always come together. But the kind of contrast between some of these positions and the similarities between these positions and the patterns that began to emerge over these 15 years of work were really what I found most fascinating. That's what I learned most from. So in my talks in the United States, I'm sharing some of the stuff that I've learned, and I'm hoping to learn from people who are there as well, because obviously I'm not the source and fount of all wisdom, and other people have a lot to contribute to the discussions, but also specifically to my learning. So obviously I present a certain mass of information, stuff that I've learned, which I think will be interesting, but equally I hope to learn from people who are there, who I hope will contribute to my thinking.